If you have a blanket, you can roll it up or flatten it out and stand on it with your heels on it, the edge of the blanket, or you can just roll the top of your mat over a couple times, and that'll still just kind of back off. So when you're folding, you can bend the knees, and we're just, with this Ashtanga style class, we get going quickly. Um, and suddenly we're in 5 rounds of sun A and 5 rounds of sun B. So to give those hamstrings a little love, a hanging forward fold, standing at the top of your mat is where we'll get started. And if you have a block, you can have that for your practice. Your playlist, you're welcome to start if you have one already. I'm gonna toss one in the chat box. And then that's there. Yeah, standing forward fold. If you don't want to fold up your mat or have a blanket underneath, that's totally fine too. I do personally enjoy that. When you fold, I want you to tuck your chin in and roll down. Yeah. Try to really keep that gaze to the navel. Let your knees bend and be soft. Let's take a deep breath in and a full breath out. One more long inhale, fill, fill, fill. Expand the back body, the back of the legs. Exhale, try to soften the hamstrings, the back of the knees, the calves. 2 more cycles of breath here, just holding your forward fold. Then you'll press into those feet, chin stays tucked in, start to stack the vertebrae as you inhale. The arms will reach overhead. Looking up, follow your hands to your heart center as they meet and slide down. Pausing here just for a moment. We talk about intentions. They are the propellers of our actions. We maybe set intentions for our practice. How we do things, why we do them, the intention kind of propels that. So when we talk about sankalpa, the highest of vows, just pausing here for a moment, offering something maybe that comes to you consistently, a way in which you'd like to show up, do, be, exist, whether it be just your practice today and your practice the times you come onto your mat, or how you do everything in your life. Creating that opportunity to set your sankalpa. Last year for me, it was, we did it the first of the year, one to carry with me through the rest of the year, which, 2020 really needed it, was, I am powerful beyond measure. So it can be really grand, it can be quite simple, it's specific. Let's take a deep breath in, breathe it into all that we are. Expand a little bit more. And then open the mouth, exhale. Let it out. Interlace your fingers, inhale, turn the palms up. As you exhale, bend to your right. Use the inhale to come through center, and then the exhale to bend to your left. Let's do that again through center. Inhale. Side bend to the right as you breathe out. Maybe look under the left arm. Back through center as you inhale, and looking under that right arm as you bend to your left. Back through center, inhale, with your thumbs, palms turn forward. Take the back of your hands behind you. And then exhale, bend the knees as you forward fold down. Inhale, round up to standing, reach up nice and tall. Palms will meet, exhale, hands to your heart center. And let's start these Sun A's. We'll start a little slower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, taking our time. Inhale to find length, look forward. Exhale to plank with the knees up or down, gaze slightly forward. And as you exhale, you can lower all the way down to your stomachs or do knees, chest, chin, the Ashtanga Namaskar. 8 limbs surrender. Inhale, Cobra, head, heart, shoulders lift, and then exhale to your down dog or even child's pose. 3 breaths here, 1.5 rounds as you take time to check in, maybe pedal the feet, bending one knee then the other. Your inhale will bring you up to your toes, looking forward, tiptoe your feet to the top of your mat. Really take your time, press the hands into the ground. Finding our half lift, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, look forward, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold in. Let your gaze go to your navel. Inhale, stand up tall, reach up and lift up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So 4 more to go. Inhale, reach up, lift up. Surya Namaskar A, exhale, forward fold. Inhale to find length, look forward. Keep looking forward as you step back to plank and lower either Chaturanga Dandasana or one of your variations. You can also just hold plank. Inhale for up dog, really draw those shoulders back. And then exhale to down dog. Again, 3 breaths. So that full inhale, a long releasing exhale. And then the inhale will bring you back to your toes, up to the top of your mat as you exhale. So take your time, long breaths mean more time to transition. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, looking for the belly button. Keep those legs nice and extended, stretch them out. Then bend the knees slightly as you inhale to stand tall. We bend to extend and exhale, hands meet over the heart. Samasthiti. Inhale, Urdhva Namaskar, maybe back bending. Exhale, forward folding. Sometimes I like to take a bind here, just reaching the arms overhead. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Then exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths. Once again, you'll take 2 more rounds on your own once you get back to the top of your mat. So finding, typically in this style, the inhales are forward moving, upward, extending and reaching. Yes, Adra, that's it. Exhaling are downward moving, grounding, even backward moving. So move with your breath, let the intuitive experience of being with yourself, your sankalpa, and just working on this moment guide you as you flow. We'll do 5 Surya Namaskar A's, 5 Surya Namaskar B's, and then as we go into the standing and seated series, we'll hold them all for 5 breaths. About 2.5 cycles of breathing. Nicely done, everyone. You can always hold plank and just drop forward to up dog. Leaving those toes tucked, kind of taking Chaturanga out. When you find Tadasana at the top of your mat, maybe starting with 2 fist distance between your feet before you come up to standing. Measuring ourselves out. And you're here, nice deep breath in through the nose. And an exhale through the mouth. Surya B, we just add the chairs and the warriors we'll go a little slower this first round and then we'll pick up the pace. So inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Make sure you can spot those toes. Try to soften your hip flexors. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, stepping back and lowering. Up dog, if you lowered, maybe cobra. Down dog, looking forward. Step your right foot to the top. Plant your left heel. Come on up, hips side by side. Warrior one. Just reach out of the pelvis. Keep pulling the right hip back with the shin forward. As you exhale, stepping back. Let's take plank. Breathe in. You can rock forward. Thigh bones lift. Up dog. Heels lifted. Exhale, looking forward. Down dog. Step your left foot to the top. Breathe in. Arms up. And let's just check in with this first one for one breath or so. Exhale, pulling that left hip back, reaching out of the pelvis. Inhale. And then exhale, stepping, maybe lowering this time. Choosing for yourself. 5 breaths here in down dog. We give ourselves a little more time to reset and check in with the more efforted Triya B. So after you have your 2 full cycles of breath, just holding down dog, or maybe it's hero's pose or child's pose, you'll use the inhale to move forward, look forward, and exhale to come to the top of your mat. Yes, that's it, Audrey. Keep going. Inhale, halfway up, then exhale, folding in. That inhale, chair pose. The exhale stands as tall, brings our hands to our heart center. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, moving back and down. Down dog, we'll bring right foot to the top. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, once again. How much you want out of this in regards to rigor and challenge is up to you. So taking that left side warrior, adding or not, the chaturanga is in between. Then making this your own. This is our second round. So after your 5 breaths in down dog, you'll eventually bring the feet up to the top of your mat with the exhale. Inhale, halfway up, and then exhale right back in. Inhale, chair pose, and exhale to stand tall. So 3 more Surya Bs, breathing into that chair, breathing out, in and out. Take note what works for you today. Maybe it's staying in crescent warrior instead of a warrior one, okay? So there's variations you can take on this. It doesn't have to look one way. This is our Ashtanga practice. It's not the, long standing traditional Miso practice, and it's for a reason where we've taken it down to an hour's time. We're working with the dynamics, our environments, as best as we can. So keep going, ladies, you've got this. I guess for any gents joining the recording someday down the way. Great focus. After that last round, we'll just meet in Tadasana at the top of our mat. So hurry to get there. Finishing up your last round. About 15 breaths or so. And when you find that Tadasana in your own time, check in Sankalpa, our highest vow. How does it translate after this first bit of effort, movement? Where you stand now, firmly with your feet planted, that intention planted. Let's take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, kind of let everything else go. Anything trying to pull you off away from your mat from this moment. Why you're doing what you're doing, how you're doing it, setting it all aside. From Tadasana, the eyes are closed, maybe blinking them open, hands can come to your hips, and then just hop your feet wider apart, almost as wide as your mat even. Hands can stand on the hips, inhale, draw the elbows slightly back, collarbone broadens as the gaze lift, heart lifts. Exhale, bend the knees, think butt back, heart forward and down, head goes low. You'll take index fingers in line with your, index and middle fingers around your big toes. You'll inhale for length, look forward, belly and thighs stay connected best you can. Use the exhale to fold in, let your skull release away from your shoulders. Those 5 breaths here. Releasing on the inhale to find, come up half, like that half lift. Sliding the hands under the feet, palms up, toes to the wrist as best as you can. Bend the knees as you look forward on your inhale. Then the exhale, bend the elbows out. Once again, drawing yourself upon yourself. One more inhale. To look up and lift up. Exhale, stepping off of your feet, releasing the spine. Hands to your hips, breathe in, stand up tall. And exhale, hands and feet meet at the top of your mat, closing the pose. Gaze is lifted above eye level, left foot heavy. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Step that right foot back and turn to the long edge of your mat. If you have your block, that can come to the back of your mat here for you as we prep for extended triangle. Right toes to the short edge. Inhale, reach with the right hand and then hinge from the waist. Left hand away from the right hand. And a block underneath that right hand behind your right heel, and that feels real nice. Feel the feet press away to the ground. The right sit bone tucking under, the left thigh bone coming forward and in. So you've got both external and internal rotation going on in the hips. Might feel like a really nice stretch for some of us. Looking down as you inhale, bend that right knee, come on up. Switching as you exhale, right toes to the long edge, left toes to the short edge. Inhale, reaching, left hand to the shin block, right hand high. And then those 5 breaths. Try to find expansion with your inhale. What's similar from one side to the other? What's a little different? Might feel nice to add a little movement. Looking down to the left foot, bend the left knee side. We inhale, come on up as you exhale. Switching once again, now to the back of your mat. Twisted triangle, right foot more to the right, left foot slightly to the left. Right hand on your hip as you inhale, reach the left arm high. And then exhale, left hand to the ground, right hand to your low back, trying to level that sacrum. And then even twisting, taking that right hand up to the ceiling. Ooh. Those 5 breaths. Reach apart, those inhale, feet down, left hand to right hand, expansive. Look down as you exhale, bend that right knee, breathe in, come on up. This wide stance transition to the top of your mat. Left toes to the short edge, right toes slightly turned out. And then right hand can come up by the ear, left hand behind you, inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, 2 ring out, pulling left hip back, and maybe reaching left arm up to the ceiling. What do you feel in your legs? Can your sankalpa support you in this shape? Engage through the navel, look down, exhale, bend that left knee, breathe in, come on up. And as you exhale, both hands and feet meet at the top of your mat. Same thing again, left foot planted, inhale, lift the right leg. And as you exhale, step away to the back of your mat. Turn to the long edge, then right toes turn to the short edge. Extended side angle, Utthita Parshvanottanasana. As you breathe in, left knee bends. That right hand can rest on the thigh bone or inside the right foot on a block or the ground. You've got options, but wherever you've got contact, right arm, right leg, press into one another. And then take your awareness back to the outside edge of that left leg and really root it in. Expand the left side, even looking to the left hand to find your reach a little longer with the gaze. Breathe out strong through the core, right hip tucking, glutes active. Look down to the right foot. Breathe in as you extend and rise up. Breathe out as you turn, right toes, left toes. Utthita Parshvanottanasana on the left side as you inhale, finding that extended side angle. And again, arm into leg, leg into arm. Find that union to create expansion. Press into one another so firmly, it's hard to tell where your left arm starts and your right leg begins. Long exhale, looking down, right foot rooted behind you, come on up on the inhale. Hands to heart center as you exhale. It's prayer twist lunge to the right foot. So right toes turn, left heel comes up. Squaring your hips to the back of your mat. I like to make sure my sacrum is nice and neutral. So bending that back knee will help you get that pelvis stabilized. And then hooking left elbow outside right thigh. Spiraling, gazing past the right elbow. Again, arm into leg, leg into arm. Maybe able to look way back behind you. And then looking down to that right foot. Inhale, you'll come on up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, prayer twist lunge to your left leg. So right heel comes up, really reaching that right arm over and across that thigh best you can. Looking past the left elbow. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look down. You'll inhale, come on up, 5-pointed star. This wide stance. Exhale, hands and feet. The top of the mat. And then again, gaze lifted. Inhale, right foot steps back, way back behind you. Yes, hands. Let's bring them to the hips. I lied. Let's slide them into your imaginary back pockets, okay? And then activate your glutes there. You'll suddenly feel like your hands on your butt to fire up those butt cheeks. Bend your knees a little. Inhale, lift your heart. Then as you exhale, I want you to press your thigh bones back, not your butt back, and forward fold. Hands come down to the ground. And inhale for length. Exhale, leverage the ground beneath you to fold in. So Really use, if you can get the hands to the earth, it might mean shortening the stance, bending the knees a lot. About 3 poses in this series, in this set right here, and it's going to be about those 15 breaths to just fold and hang. So inhale, exhale, seeing the ground, look forward, breathe in, hands to your hips, stand up tall. As you exhale, palms will come behind your low back. Interlace your fingers and extend the arms, knuckles reach down, heart lifts up, breathe in. Really strong through those legs. Once again, thigh bones back, really fire up the legs. As you exhale, fold over yourself. Find that movement from the shoulders and less the arms, the hands like jumping forward and down. Great work. Breathe in. Breathe out. Another round to hold. You'll release the bind on the inhale to find length. Look forward. Taking the toes, index finger, middle finger around the big toes once again as you exhale. Inhale, look forward, and then exhale, bend the elbows towards your feet as you fold onto yourself. Does the weight go into the heels, which kind of represents the past, the ball mounts, the future? Does that relate to our psychology? Do we tend to think about the past and linger there? Do we anticipate, become anxious about the future? You'll exhale, soften in, shoulders away from your ears, releasing the bind. Inhale, find length. Exhale, hands to your hips. Stand up tall. You'll take a deep breath and reach your arms apart, stretch, and then exhale. Yep, close the pose at the top of the mat. For pyramid, I like to take a slightly shorter stance. So gaze is still lifted. You're just going to take that right leg up and then about halfway back as you pivot and turn to the back of your mat. Right foot to the right, left foot more to the left. You can interlace your fingers behind you, or sorry, grab opposite elbows behind you. Or you can take reverse prayer if that's something that you practice. And the inhale will lift the heart. The exhale will bring you chin to shin. Chest stays open even if you tuck the chin into the chest. Really keep the shoulder heads reaching apart. Try not to lock that right leg out, pulling the right hip back. Breathe in and out. One more round. Press from that left heel, that left hip forward, looking to your right toes. Inhale, bend the knee, come on up. As you exhale, pivot and turn towards the top of your mat for pyramid. If you have opposite elbows, switch which forearm is on top or in front, and then inhale to press down and lift the gaze. Exhale, once again, bring sternum to foot, chin to shin, and then tuck in, eventually just chin to chest. You may not get very far down with the chest broad, and that's pretty normal. So, but notice if that tension wants to transfer, if you're clenching, holding the breath, the active effort in your left glute, your left knee wants to try to lock out to force the side by side, try to bend the knee. That'll give you more leverage. Breathe out. Looking down. You'll inhale, bend that left knee, come on up through center, stretch the arms apart. And once again, exhale, hands and feet meet at the top of the mat. For our standing series, you might stay right on your mat. You can even move like to a wall to offer you support. Left foot stays rooted this first time. Inhale, lift the right leg. Hand can come to the knee or toes, wrapping the fingers around the big toe. Chest stays open, spine long. As you inhale, extend the right leg. Left arm can reach up. Hold here as you exhale. 2 more breaths. Breathe out or in. And out. 1 more inhale, reach apart. And as you exhale, take that right leg to the right, left arm to the left. Breathe in. Out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Maybe bringing that some cobwebs in mind. As you inhale, bring that right leg to the middle. And then exhale, trying to bring head to knee pose. So straight leg or bent knee. We're just trying to fold onto ourselves while we stand. Don't forget about your left foot, your left glute, your right glute stabilizing you in the air. Ooh, we're almost done here. We're going to keep that right leg afloat as you exhale, release it. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, strong through the left leg. Gaze lifts. Breathe in, lift the right leg. Breathe out. Inhale, one leg breath higher, right leg, gaze up, exhale. Right leg down, set it down, shake it out. Way to go. Okay, so gaze is lifted, inhale, left knee comes up. Bind or not, you'll choose as you exhale and inhale to extend. Stay here as you exhale. Breathe in. Think about diagonal lines on your right foot, big toe to outer edge of the heel, pinky toe to inner edge of the heel, arches lifted. The exhale will bring the left leg to the left, right arm to the right. And again, your knee can be bent with the bind, so long as your spine is up. I would rather you keep a bend in the knee and your spine long and strong versus forward folding. Whew. Fall out, you'll climb back in. Okay, that's the practice. And then the inhale brings that left leg through center. Your exhale will bring your head towards that knee. And then it's 2 breaths to hold, full inhale, or 2 cycles to hold. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Notice where your gaze is, starting to release the bind. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale. Inhale, lift the left leg higher. Find those diagonal lines, your left glute, your right glute. You got this. Inhale, 1 breath higher, and then exhale. Sit it down, shake it out. And let's just give ourselves, for all that effort, a little flow here. Ladies, inhale, reach the arms up overhead, back bend if you'd like. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Looking forward in down dog as you exhale, breathe into your toes, and then exhale, maybe hop those feet to the top. Inhale, chair pose. We hold for those 5 breaths here. So maybe with each exhale, you try to soften the hip flexors and see if those thigh bones drop. Maybe the hands feel better at heart center today. Breathe out. Inhale, look up. Last exhale here, sink a little lower. Inhale, stand up tall. Last time in that extension. Exhale, folding. Breathe in for length. Exhale, down to earth. Chaturanga if you like, or plank. Your down dog will step your right foot to the top for warrior 1. Left heel plants down. We're here for 5 breaths. So it's nice to check in. If you feel that you're having trouble getting that right hip back, the nice thing to do is lunge slightly forward from the chest. Then pull that right hip back. Rising up, you might get a little more back bend here. Right shin reaching away from left heel. Looking up, you'll inhale. Start to straighten that right leg, pivot and turn to the back of your mat as you exhale. And then breathe in, settling in. Warrior 1 on the left. 5 breaths, 3 rounds. Once again, maybe that hinge slightly to pull the left hip back. Press the right hip forward. Breathing out. Long, spacious breaths to give us time here. Check in with the pose or some kalpa. Take 1 more inhale. We're going to stay on the left side as we exhale, open up warrior 2. So the feet try to get that alignment, heel to arch. Chest is open. Again, try to find the outside edge of that right foot behind you. The left shin reaching away from the right foot. The glutes actively opening the hips. Last exhale, really sink in. Inhale, straighten that left leg, turn the left toes. Breathe out, turn the right toes, bend the right knee, warrior 2. Yeah, that's it. Ooh. Squeezing the glutes. Outer edge of your left foot rooted firmly. Chest open, gaze over the right fingers. Last inhale. Exhale, cartwheel down, step the right foot back, down dog, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let's come forward to plank. Inhale, look slightly forward, and let's hold here as you exhale. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Try to press the ground away, try to sag through the hips or the shoulders. Really press, hands down, heels back, heart forward. Inhale, exhale, knees down, hips to heels. Let's find a child pose just for a breath or so. And then let's come on up. You'll just bring your self to seated. And if you want your block, you can grab that. We'll start with Gandasana Pose. So you can have your block close by if you want it for the other postures. Hands beside your hips. I like to place them in front of the greater trochanter, that bony part of the outside hips. Toes back, calves active, thighs, chin to chest, and then press the hands down. And maybe your butt comes up off the ground a little bit. Engage every muscle, every bit of you that you can. Staff pose. Firm and hard, stiff and stable. Really finding everything engaged, wrapping around the forearms, the biceps and triceps, the armpits, the upper back and shoulders. Breath out, you'll release your bottom down. The inhale will reach the arms overhead. And then exhale, coming forward to your Paschimottanasana. And if you have a lot of mobility here, the block can go behind the feet. Bending the knees like we did in all our folds will be an option, or taking the toe bind, but 5 breaths to hold. Releasing the bind if you've got it. Exhale, and then inhale, walk your hands in. Plant your hands behind your hips as you exhale, and then breathing and lifting up, toes pointed, reverse plank. Inhale. Looking back, exhale if you like. Breathe in. Press the hands, the feet towards the ground. Breathe out. Inhale, look forward, chin to chest. Exhale, lower your hips down. And then let's find Janu Shirshasana with the left leg extended. So left leg's gonna go long. Right heel into your groin. Turn your torso towards that straight left leg. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, begin to fold head to knee pose. Taking that last exhale, really pressing left foot into, or right foot into left thigh. Squeezing that right glute. Inhale, you'll sit up tall. And the exhale, you'll just switch. So once you'll move with your 5 breaths, you'll take that right leg long, left knee will bend in. Turning the torso to that straight right leg, inhale. And exhale, holding in head to knee pose. Taking that breath way back into the back of your lungs. That deep breath in. Activate left foot into right thigh, right glute as you exhale. Then inhale, slowly sit up tall. And as you prep to twist, you're gonna bring your right thigh bone forward, okay, and your left foot across it. So your right thigh bone, you can have a straight leg or bent knee. That left foot can cross over the thigh. You're gonna start to take that right arm around the left leg and your left hand behind you. Sitting up tall as you inhale, looking behind you as you exhale. Reach that right arm up on a deep breath in, and then let's ring a little deeper, elbow hooks on top of thigh. Press left foot into ground. Right hand, right arm into leg. slightly. Inhale, unwind. Bring that left elbow inside the left knee. As you exhale, counter twisting, that right hand will go behind you. And then just switching the legs up. Left thigh bone will come forward, right foot will step over. Starting to hug to set up the twist. Right hand will plant behind you, left arm hugging that right leg. And then inhale, really reach that left arm high to hook elbow on top of right thigh, wringing yourself out. And that might mean moving your right hand a little further back and away. Try to keep your spine nice and long and vertical versus at an angle and leaning. Press right foot into the ground, left arm into right leg, looking back. Last exhale. And then inhale, unwind as you exhale, counter twist to your left. And then slowly you come through. I'm going to have us do a couple pendant lifts, okay? So we don't do those always, but we've got time today. And the Lolasana, so it's like a seated butt lift up. So we'll do boat pose first, okay? And then from boat, I just want you to find your legs squeezing towards the midline or together. And as you exhale, really brace your core, cross your ankles, your hands plant right where we do for a staff pose, and then maybe a little bump up and down. Inhale, come back to boat. Exhale, opposite ankle crosses, little bump up, lower down. Inhale, boat, just one more on each side, opposite ankle on top. Exhale to lift. Inhale, boat, last one. Exhale, Lolasana, lower. Inhale, boat, and slowly as you exhale, come all the way down into your backs. We'll have our block if you want to hold bridge for the 3 cycles. I'll suggest 2 bridges and a wheel if you practice wheel. Otherwise, do what works best for you. I like to measure those 2 fist distance sometimes from seated. So narrow that, walk the feet in, hands by the hips, and then the inhale, hips come up, bridge pose. 5 breaths. You can place the block behind the sit bones and just hold the pose. You can even let the legs go long if you want to make this a little more stretchy for the hip flexors. After that last exhale, inhale, lift your heels, come up a little higher if you're just moving through the series, and exhale, lower the spine down. One more time, heels might walk a little closer to the sit bones, head and shoulders down, breathe in bridge pose. 5 breaths. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, lower the spine down. And if you're prepping for headstand, hands will come under the shoulders. Inhale, come onto the top of your head, lifting the hips. And then exhale, straighten the arms. Breathe in, holding. Breathe out. One more round to stay where you are. The exhale will start to lower you down towards the ground. And then let's just scoot the hips over to the left, drop the knees over to the right, and arms can come out to wings to twist here for a moment. Supine twist, picking up the head, turning it to the left. Looking up to the ceiling, let's bring the knees through center, hips to the right, knees to your left. And then picking up the head, turning it the opposite direction. And the inhale will bring you through center. We'll prep for plow. So plow pose, first you'll extend the legs up. If you have that block, you can also bring it back and over behind your head. It's probably about arm's distance. Hands can rest beside the hips, trying to press head and shoulders down like you do in bridge. Feet go over. Your feet can find the ground, great. If they're on the block, great. If they're floating, great. All of those things are options. Hands come to the low back to support. You can stay here for the next 10 breaths, or after 5 breaths, you can bend the knees into your forehead, hovering like a ball, inverted, and then working to shoulder stand pose. So variety is the spice of life, so do what works for you. Also, consistency is stability and comfort. So sticking with what works or where you already are is an option always. If you're in shoulder stand, you'll come back to plow. Hands will release down as you inhale. From plow, you'll exhale, slowly lower your legs long down your mat. Slide right thumb under right sit bone, left thumb under left sit bone. Press your forearms down and lift your head or shoulders for fish. Exhale, let your head drop back. Breathe in. Keep pressing the arms down to lift the sternum up. Breathe out. Last round. Out. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale, lower head and shoulders down. And then slide those arms out from underneath you. Inhale, stretch the arms apart, tips to toes. As you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side. If you practice headstand pose, we have time for it today. So when you take headstand, if it's something you do, or you can always take forearm stand or another inversion, or you could just stay prepping for Shavasana. We really want to stack ourselves up with stability. So even if that means building your foundation, I'm going to offer you a couple things. And if you practice headstand, you're already like working your way there. Great. I always like to do for supported headstand opposite elbows, so you can build the framework so your elbows don't go broader than your shoulders. When you grab opposite elbows, you can interlace your fingers with your hands and tuck one pinky in to prep for a supported headstand. Or you'll let your forearms go parallel with each other, and you'll look where your left elbow is and plant your left hand there. Your right elbow is, your right palm there. Lift your butt up and drop your head down to be the tip of your triangle. And without moving your head side to side, you should be able to see your left and right hand within your peripheral vision, if not your direct line of sight. Lovely, great work. And then finally, when you've maybe spent 5-10 breaths in headstand, you'll come down. Maybe a stretch of the chin to chest, shoulder, ear to shoulder, rocking it out. Even leaning back and letting the tops of your shoulders support your neck muscles, for your neck, your skull. And that final chin to chest, shoulders back as you inhale, lifting the skull, and then just coming onto your back as you prep for that last little resting space. Stretch out tips to toes as you breathe in. And then exhale, hug the knees deeply into your chest. Bring the hands to the kneecaps and take 3 to 5 circles in one direction, really noticing the experience, the sensation around your low back as your thighs move further and closer from the body, and then take it the other direction. Notice what goes on there. And then for a moment, just plant your feet, plant your toes, feel your soles, feel this moment. Take a deep breath in, a full breath out. Come back to your sankalpa, a highest of vows. How do we honor ourselves, see ourselves as we utilize this ancient practice to connect and remember all that we are, full of possibility and potential. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let go. And then slowly extending one leg followed by the other. You'll work your way as you prep for Shavasana. See if you can let the breath go, the effort in the body. Any tension that might have crept in, see if you can surrender it, release it. When the mind wanders, which it inevitably will, be generous with yourself, be gracious. A chance to reset and check in with your sankalpa. See if you can relax the arches of your feet, the space between your toes, the palms of your hands, and between your fingers and the fingertips. Soften your ankles, your calf muscles, and the backs of your knees. Allow the muscles and tissue to melt away from your thigh bone. Left side, right side. Feel the wrists relax, the forearm muscles, the elbow creases, your biceps and triceps soften, your armpits relax, your shoulders, the glutes, the hips, the low back, mid back, back of your heart, the whole body relaxing and surrendering. Melting into this moment for just a little while longer. Your jaw releases. Maybe it feels good to swallow. Soften the cheeks, the cheekbones. Your eye creases, the inner eye crease is heavy, the outer eye crease is heavy. Your brows soften, your forehead softens, your scalp, your skull, your brain. Letting yourself fully surrender to the moment at hand. Deep breath in and a full breath out. Allowing the breath to sustain you, to anchor you into the moment. Expand and contract toes and fingers, ankles and wrists. Maybe arms stretch overhead for a long reach apart. Eventually, the knees can come into the chest or the feet can walk in. You'll come over onto a side. Pausing. Coming back to your Sankalpa, take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And slowly rising to seated. And then the hands will meet over the heart. The chin will dip towards the chest. Gratitude here for all that you are. This ancient practice bringing us to union. And then mindfully, thumbs to the third eye. May it inspire our thoughts, which become our words, our actions our behaviors and habits, our samskaras, the patterns in which we move through the world. Bowing forward to your practice. Namaste.